Hello and welcome to the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. This is the finale here this weekend of this championship, and we're about to get it underway right here, right now. The finale, and this is going to be very interesting indeed. Jake Sensen is running you through this session. Let's take a listen and see what happens.
The Formula Regional Middle East Championship. Now we're a year later with the brand new cars for the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy. Big battle in front of us. Apologies for the slightly flu-ridden commentator. It's myself, Jake Sanson, once again, hoping to bring you all of the coverage as it happens over the course of the day. Slight adjustment to the schedule. The two qualifying sessions will lead us into two races here in Lusail. So qualifying 1 will set the grid for race 1. Qualifying 2 will set the grid for race 2. It'll still be all of the regular protagonists that you are expecting to see in Formula Regional Middle East coming into this weekend, albeit with one change.
He does not sound well.
In the lineup. Only the Japanese driver Taito Kato, who took that fabulous first victory in Dubai 2 weeks ago, sadly not racing with us this time to finish off the season for ART Grand Prix. On this occasion, that will be Taz Edrivabazak, a very talented Thai from Bangkok. He will take up and he will get us back up to speed. In the interests of trying to make sure that we've still got a commentator in time for the two races this afternoon and the final UAE 4 Series race later this afternoon, I'm going to let the drivers warm up their tyres and brakes to the optimum temperature, let you guys get yourselves settled in, and we'll pick it up again when we get the fight for pole position.
So there you go, Jake Sanson will not be commentating this session, meaning, guess what? I am in flippin' heck. Holy crap. And not only do we get myself just talking, we get track sounds as well. Full track sounds from the cars, from the track, every single thing. I think he might be coming back once the drivers get their tyres up to temperature. But until then, I'll be running you through. Hello and welcome in, Elizabeth. We've got full track sounds for you, so you can hear all of these cars and take a moment to take it in, because especially on this channel, you don't get much of these track sounds like you would like you would watch it in IRL. So just take this in here. Alex Abkazava. So as you heard, sorry, not Alex Abkazava. I just saw that on the timing screen and I said his name. So as you heard there, Jake Sensen said, not 3 races here this weekend. We're only running through 2 races. So we've got Q1 here this afternoon. We've got Q1, then we've got Q2, and those 2 qualifying sessions, qualifying 1 will set the grid for race number 1. That's the first part of qualifying, which we're currently in right now. And the second part of qualifying will set the grid for race number 2. So we're not doing 3 races this weekend, or this week. We will be doing just the uno and dos, number 1 and race number 2. Our championship leader at the moment, Rashid Al Daheri, comes into this round with a 61-point margin in the championship, and we'll be hoping that he can wrap it up this round as well.
So the drivers just getting themselves dialed in, ready for a push for pole position. Jesse Carrasquedo, who drafted in for round 3, is back in the car once again for MP Motorsport along with his teammate Alex Abkasava. There is Alex Abkasava. If you are judged by your last race, well, Alex Abkasava won race 3 in Dubai.
He really shouldn't be commentating. That is an awful voice. Wow, Jake Sanson. He really shouldn't be doing this. Wow, that is... Oh. He really shouldn't be doing that. Oh, okay, that's... But yeah, back to what I was saying there. Rashid Al Tahiri comes into this round. He leads the championship at the moment by 62 points. 62 points, yes. I actually made that up in my free period that I got. So, there you go. So, yeah, 62 points. Rashid Al Tahiri leads the championship by. Over his title antagonist, if that's a word. I think it is, actually, funnily enough. Over his title friend, Alex Abkazava, currently sits P2 in this session at the moment as the drivers continue to put temperature through the tyres, through the rubber, and to once more get their lap times. Jesse Cascado at the moment currently sits at the top, 1 minute 51.8. We have taken about a 2-week break off of streaming the Middle Eastern Championship, as I was doing every single day up to round number 3. So I've taken a bit of a break, and now I'm fully recharged and ready to do this series. But in the meantime, we've been doing F1 testing, we've been doing loads of other things, especially for the first time ever, technically, a 12-hour stream. It was about 6 hours, so I did half of the 6-hour, Bathurst 12-hour, technically half of it. And funnily enough, I'm still recovering from that. My voice, I actually got sick from that stream. So that was not good. It was literally 4 days after I got sick, so I'm actually still recovering from that. I'd lost my voice, so that was not good. And, well, this was last week that this happened, and I'm drinking Pepsi, so that's probably not the best thing for me. But for those people that care about my health, yes, I'm drinking water. Oh, we've got a car on the gravel, and who is that? I cannot see the car number. Why did I say cart number? Wow, I'm rusty. Wow, 2 days off. We've got a red flag out here in the first part of qualifying. That is a car in the gravel. And because this circuit is so big, get some tea/honey or lemon or something. Get tea, honey, lemon or something. Yeah, well, you know, water. H2O is better. But yes, must I agree with you, I did drink tea throughout those days. That very much did help. But yeah, that's the reason why I didn't actually go live. Oh, I did, but I was sick during it. So I think I did go live whilst I was sick, which was, well, yeah, W streamer. I did stream day 2 and day number 3 on Friday. Yeah, that was on Friday, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I was sick, so there you go. Serious dedication right there. Yeah, we're coming into the final round of this year's championship. And for this championship, of course, a brand new car. The first time that these cars have been tested, the Tortoise F4 chassis. Sorry, not the Tortoise F4. We're no longer running the Tortoise F4. We're running a brand new car, brand new chassis, brand new tyres. Of course, these cars last year did run on a GT tyre. They now run on the Pirelli tyre, which most GT or F4 cars run on. More or less, every category runs on a Pirelli tyre here this weekend. I'm actually not sure. It's one of the MP Motorsport cars that have bogged itself in the gravel. I couldn't see the car number because of the glare. If I could see the car number, I would be able to tell you what driver it is. Here's Sebastian Weller, currently sits P3 overall sorry, not P3 in the championship, he currently sits P9 in the championship. We were actually expecting him to do quite well throughout this championship. But quite unfortunately, in round 1, which really, every round you must score points in this championship, being it's only a 4-round year, meaning there's not very many chances to score points. And it's all about consistency. For example, our top 2 in the championship, Alex Abkazava and Key Nakamura-Berta, have been very, very consistent. That is just not Key Nakamura-Berta. Not Key Nakamura-Berta. Come on. Get your head to it. Jesus Christ. Oh, jeez. Rashid Al-Daheri. That is why Rashid Al-Daheri currently leads the championship. I apologise about that. That was absolute awful from my side. Not very good. Not very good indeed. Taito Kato currently sitting in his car, continuing to try and keep cool in these, what is, I think, nearly 40-degree temperatures on the day that this was streamed. So, 40 degrees. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 40 degrees. Elizabeth, yeah, I'm making you jealous. You're currently living in 0-degree temperatures right now. I'm making you jealous. Yeah. Drivers continuing to make their way into the pits. It is a 31-car grid. They continue to make their way into the pits due to a red flag and a car stuck in the gravel at the moment. And Jake Sanson has come off commentary, so we now have track sounds. I don't think you're going to actually hear the track sounds at the moment, due to we're literally staring at the end of the pit lane. But, yeah, so we've currently got track sounds. You can probably hear wind in the background. That is the track sounds. As the competitors have a challenge against themselves here to try and qualify these cars as high up as possible. There you go. That is the sound of a F4 car right there. Stalled in the pit lane. Teams continuing to check tyre temperatures and pressures. Make sure that the tyres don't overpressure. And it's a very important play in this round. In Qatar, very much known for its tyre wear. One of the highest degradation circuits in the world. And degradation is tyre wear. This is one of the highest tyre wear circuits in the world, due to the high speed and flowing parts of the circuit. Just got to think turn 12, 13 and 14. Those three corners, left, right, left, and they're high speed corners as well, which is what puts a lot of pressure through the front tyres. If it's a right hand corner, the left front gets a lot of punishment. If it's a left hand corner, the right front gets a lot of punishment. As the crews continue to chat away with their drivers. Yeah, very much a high degradation circuit around here. The Pirelli rubber gets absolutely beat. And they've only got 2 sets of Pirelli rubber this weekend. 1 set for qualifying. And you just got to hope 2 sets get you through the weekend for both races. Yes, you heard me. 2 sets of Pirelli slick tyres just to run you through this weekend. And with the high degradation, there is absolutely every chance that tyre management is going to be a big role in this week's round. Talking about punishment, how did the cable whip go? What do you mean? I don't remember doing one. Why? I don't remember doing one. Ads! Jesus heck. I don't remember doing one. So, correct me, please, because I don't remember doing one. Actually. Unless I owe you something. Weren't you supposed to do one for someone? I think it might have been you this time. It might have been you. Possibly. As we get ready to go back to green flag conditions here, red light at the end of the pit lane will turn green and the cars will be able to make their way out onto the circuit. But yeah. Look, I took the weekend off, so I completely forgot about it. And due to what I was like, this was like last Tuesday. It's been nearly a week. I cannot remember. But yeah, the cars make their way back out onto the circuit, and due to the tight schedule, we've had to cut this session down to 6.5 minutes of running remaining. Jake Sanson back up in the commentary box here. Of course, him being sick, he would have to very much try and limit the talking that he does throughout this weekend. And it just gives you that real opportunity to just listen to these cars just dwelling those beautiful, beautiful engines as well. In the Teams Championship at the moment, we currently have... Good question. RSGP leads the way in the Teams Championship, scoring the most points at the moment. MP Motorsport sits second and Prema sit third. The top 3 in the constructors are separated by 14 points. So 3 of those teams separated by less than 14 points. The only reason why I'm only doing one stream today is, the main reason is because I've got a go-kart endurance race to head to in less than 2 hours. I'm commentating that. Yes, I certainly am. I'm commentating that. So that's the reason why I'm actually got shorter schedule here today. I'm going to be commentating a go-kart endurance race. I've been hired on the job And no, I'm not getting paid for it, so that's really unfortunate. So, yeah, it should be fun, actually. I'm quite excited. Quite excited. I've been hired. I'm doing... It's a 5-round go-kart championship. And I'm going to be streaming... I'm not going to be streaming. I'm going to be doing all 5 rounds. Commentating all 5 rounds. Seems like I'm the only one here that means I have double game. only if that was kidding, no, yeah. Well, technically, according to my stream here, it says there's 2 people. So if this second person chats, you could be mudded. But still, you have voice chat, so it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't matter. It depends. Like whoever the first one is here, then you know. The only reason. Yeah, well, he has no chance. Jeez. Yeah, well, I was gonna say something. The only reason why Elizabeth is here right now is because she wants those keyboard challenges sent to her. It's the only reason why she's here. Also because she's a W fan and gets up at 11 o'clock at night just to watch me. Nah. Not true. No, I'm not lying. I would never lie. Exactly. She's a W fan. Must I say, Adam has done a pretty good job as well. If it was only for that, I wouldn't be here at 1 a.m. many times. Exactly. At least it's not as early as what it probably would have been. At least it's not as early. I was also going to say something. Heck, I've got a short-term memory loss. Holy heck. Awful tag. Absolutely awful. Disgusting. Disgusting behaviour today. Disgusting. Now, for those people that might be wondering, Elizabeth, I think you might know this, but you know how I love German people? Yeah, German. I'm in Australia, right? I love German people, don't get me wrong. They're absolutely good looking. They're good looking people. I love them. But the only problem with that is when you actually have German teachers, you can't really understand them. So, the reason why, okay, I couldn't understand this German teacher, right? And she was also not a very good teacher. So, I love German people, but come on. Surely, before you come to Australia, you have to learn how to teach. Come on. Learn how to teach. Flippin' heck. She was giving us... Okay, for those Americans or Europeans, I'm in year 10. I'm grade 12. Grade 10, if you're American. So what's the problem now? So the problem is that she was teaching us year 12 work. Like, just... I can't even explain it. That's how confusing it is. I can't explain it. It's just... Come on. I like German people, but if you're gonna come to Australia, at least have a university degree. Come on. I mean, she probably did have a university degree. She just didn't know how to teach at all. Okay, let's get back to some racing, because there's actually racing going on right now. Kinak and Roberta currently sits at the top of the session. 148.4 over Alex Power, Sebastian Weldon, Alex Abkazava, Kyan Rag, Olivieri, Maximilian Popov, Salim Hanak, Jesse Carrasquedo, and Andrea Dup in position 12. In position 10, sorry. And Jen Perozowski just sitting outside your top 10 in P11. Jules Russell, Lino Franco, Miguel Acosta, Alex Ninovich. Well, German is hard in general. Good point. German is a hard language to learn. I do know one word, though. And it's a racing word. Oschersleben. That is a word, by the way. You can search it. I don't know what the meaning is in Australian, but in English, but, you know. It's the only one word I know in German. One. French sucks too, though. I had to learn French. Awful. Absolutely awful. It's an awful. awful time of your life. Don't come to Australia. You get taught French. Yes, we have a language class as well. So it's Mud City. King Nakamura currently sits at the top on a 148.4. Does anybody knock him off? Sebastian Weldon cannot. He's done a 148.7. Akadiko stays P17. We've got Salim Hunter coming into the pits. Leader in the rookie at the moment, King Nakamura as well. I have to speak it. Well, I have it here. I have to speak it too. Damn. I suck. King Nakamura pulls into the pits, confident on his pole position. I think he might have grabbed it in the process. King Nakamura has grabbed pole position, 148.4. That is a good lap. And our championship leader, Rashid Al Daheri, sits P18 at the moment, 149.7. Championship leader Rashid Al Daheri, and all he has to do is score 1 point to win the championship. 1 point and he's P18. You score points in the top 10. That's going to be a hard challenge for him come tomorrow for race number 1. Of course, we still have qualifying 2 to set the grid. Jesse Carrasquedo stays P10. Alex Power stays P2, so not able to improve is the American driver. Except Kazava sits P4, currently sits P3 in the championship at the moment. The Momentos, should I say. Car wide on the exit of the final corner, kicking up the dirt, kicking up the gravel. Yuki Sano up at a P9, pushes Maximilian Popov down. Jen Perezowski up at a P6 on a 48.9. Olivieri up at a P9. As cars continue to drop across the line. Here, and our championship leader, where's he come up to? He's coming to P5, so that's a good lap there. Rashid Al Daheri, he's popped himself up and into P5. Good lap. That is a good lap. So our championship leader now is in a bit of a safer spot. He's now P5. Much better lap. That is a much better lap for our championship leader. Much better. Much better lap for our championship leader.
That's where I got confused. 36-0 in the second sector. 35.
But yeah, that is the end of our qualifying session. At least part 1 of qualifying is done. And a good lap there from King Nakamura, and that's another pole position bagged. What a lap from King Nakamura, and he's bagged pole position by 1/10 of a second. Might sound like a small margin, but in this championship, it is quite big indeed. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of this session. There were plenty of them. Cars continuing made their way out onto the circuit. Flippin' heck. What is it with the ads? I'm gonna get YouTube Premium. I'm gonna get YouTube Premium, bro. Stuff this. I'm getting YouTube Premium. But yeah, plenty of highlights throughout that first part of qualifying. We had a car off the road. Plenty of cars actually off the road. Skating off the road there. It's one of the RSGP cars. Cars continued to make their way around the circuit. One of the MP Motorsport cars got stuck in the gravel. That brought out the red flag in this session. The Road Motorsport team made their way out onto the track. Being at the front of the pit lane, you get a lot of benefits there. That's King Nakamura skating wide off the road. Off the road again is one of the MP Motorsport cars. Alexander Kazawa went on to do another lap and made his way around the circuit. Drivers putting in their mileage. 2 free practice sessions this weekend. Normally this round we're supporting the World Endurance Championship, but meanwhile King Nakamura grabbed pole position for race number 1. But now can he back it up here in race number 2? So yeah, normally this round we are supporting the World Endurance Championship. this weekend, we are not supporting the World Endurance Championship. We're on our own for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. Sorry for the absurd amount of stutters, but, you know, trying to think out the words at the moment. Normally we are supporting the World Endurance Championship. This weekend we are not. The F4 UAE Championship is with us, along with this championship. So only 2 championships here this weekend. Made it a very interesting challenge for all the competitors. Tyres, their big talking point this weekend. 2 sets of them. You got to be careful that these tyres don't grain this weekend. Be careful of tyre graining, which is that surface of the rubber when it starts to wear down, when that rubber falls off of it, and the teams are already throwing new tyres at it. That's an interesting play there from the teams, only running 2 sets of Pirellis. To be careful on what mileage you put on them. That's why you saw drivers pulling into the pits at the end of that last session. Keep the tyres fresh. So that is a very important play this weekend. Jamaican driver Maximilian Popov sits in his car as the team continue to put the only other set of fresh sticker Pirellis onto the car. But yeah, tyre rubber is going to be an important factor. You'll hear me talking about it a lot come race time tomorrow. This is the South Austrian driver, Andrea Kostic. For some reason, the highlights music is still playing. And that's mud. It's absolute mud city right there. Oh, heck. Heck. Don't worry. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Yeah, Ty's big talking point here this weekend. As the drivers wait for their session to get back underway. Second part of qualifying here. And this second part, unlike other rounds so far this year, will set the grid for race number 2. Being, normally you get 2 sets of tyres actually for the 3 races. Being we've only got 2 races, we'll only get 2 sets of tyres, and that's for the whole weekend. Teams only got 3 sets for the whole weekend on a 3-race weekend. This is only a 2-race weekend, and you only get 2 sets. Now, you do get another set for practice. You get 1 allocated set for practice. That set goes back to Pirelli. But now, you only have 2 sets of Pirelli rubber to use. And that is going to be an important point. A big talking point as well. Also saw the maiden debut of the Toyota GR F4 car. Beautiful Toyota engine in the back of those things. Rearward engines in these F4 cars. As well as the tyres and the teams continue to put temperature through the rubber. As Jake Stenson walks back into the commentary box here. Trident team waiting for a bit of track position here. And that's the other thing is that a lot of teams might just be focusing on a bit of track position here. Only having 2 sets of tyres. You'll be wanting to wait as long into the session as possible. Try and back that time down as late as you can into the session as well. Competitors now to make their way around the layout. 14 minutes 15 seconds to go. 2 sets of Pirellis. Very much Formula E style in the way that you only get 2 sets in that category as well. The Formula E Championship. They run on a hand-cooked tyre. Shredded hand-cooked tyre. Made for really all conditions as well. But yeah, only 2 sets of slicks. This is going to be a challenge for the competitors to try and get through this weekend. Tyres, a big talking point. Do you want to use your fresher set in race number 1 or save it for race number 2 and have the most grip? It's going to be a matter of limiting the running you do on the tyres. Protecting the tyres will be a big talking point. Qatar, one of the biggest degradation circuits we have all across the world. One of, if not the biggest. And now the drivers have to try and make 2 sets of Pirelli slicks live. And when I say live, not shred. You do not want these tyres to shred. With the moment when I say shred, I don't mean you actually, well, they literally shred like cheese. You do not want them to puncture. That would be very, very bad. That would just end your weekend immediately. You do not want these tyres to puncture, let me tell you that much. The tyre protecting will be a big talking point as well for the competitors. These young F4 drivers will really get a taste of how to really save tyres as well. 12 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Hope we're all enjoying the coverage here for the one stream today. If you missed qualifying part number 1, we have Kei Nakamura guy currently sits P2 in the championship. Sorry, P1 in the championship. No, P2 in the championship. 62 points off the lead. He has to score 20. He can't win the championship. No. Wait a minute. He can't win the champ. Oh, my math was on. My math was wrong. My math was wrong. It's not 62 points. Stupid me. Sorry, Elizabeth. I've given you the wrong information. Give me a second. Give me a second. I've given you the wrong information. Flippin' heck, it's only 31 points. There we go. I'm confused. Is your math teacher German too? Okay. Very good. Well, no, I was, yeah. Look, okay, I was editing a video and also probably doing out the math for this championship. Because, you know, and it was a last minute thing, you know, I had a free period last period and, you know, period 5, you don't exactly want to do much. Flippin' heck. So yeah, that's what I was doing. It's period 5 on a Monday. Flippin' heck. Come on. 3 periods. I had 3 of them. 3 of them. 32. So yeah, there you go. Confirmation. My math was wrong. It's not 61 points. It's 32. Now, fire me for my... Oh, good lord. It's only 31 points. It's only 31 points. It's okay. It's a-okay. It's a-okay. It's a-okay. It's perfectly fine. Okay. It's only 31 points, so meaning that my math was completely wrong. Only 31 points. In the championship lead. So, meaning if Rashid Al-Dahiri wins race number 1 and Kei Nakamura wins race number 2, but it's all okay. If Rashid Al-Dahiri wins race number 1 and Kei Nakamura finishes last, Rashid Al-Dahiri will win the championship, and it would be the same other way. Except race number 2. If Rashid Al-Dahiri finished race number 1, if Rashid Al-Dahiri finished last and Kei Nakamura came first, in the opposite direction of race number 1, then it would mean that in race number 2, that all Rashid Al-Dahiri would need to do is outscore Kei Nakamura. That was completely confusing. But what I mean is, For example, Rashid Al Dahiri wins race number 1. Ken Nakamura finishes last. Rashid Al Dahiri would win the championship. It's 25 points for a win. And if that was swapped around, Rashid Al Dahiri finishes last and Ken Nakamura finishes first. Rashid Al Dahiri is not out of the championship fight and can still win. Heck. And can still win in race number 2. All Rashid Al Dahiri would have to do, if he qualified well in this session, was just out-finish Ken Nakamura. All he'd have to do is finish in front. It's complex. It's complex. But that's how the championship works. And that's how tight it's getting in this championship here. And it's made it very, very interesting indeed. Mateo Gaggi at the moment sits at the top on 149.95. About 1 second off the pace from what we saw in Q1. 8 minutes to go left in this session. 2 races this weekend. Maximilian Popov, the Jamaican driver, goes to the top. Kai Darianani quickly follows him in behind. 49.1. Popov first, 48.8. Keep an eye out for our championship leader, Rashid Al Dahiri. See if he can try and make his way through the field. Keep an eye out for him on a qualifying lap. Intra Bezuviak sits P5, up into P5, sorry. Now that's a name I'm going to butcher a lot this weekend. If you saw that name, you'd probably go, flippin' heck, how the flip do you mention that? But the Trident team watches on. I can't even say his first name. Tepentrio Intrapezuviak. It's a strange name, but, you know, people. You know, it's just, yeah, why would you name your son that? Tehentropol Intrapezuviak. That's his whole name. Somehow I didn't butcher that. I probably did. Tepentra, I can't say it now. Tepentraol Intrapezuviak. Oh, flippin' heck. It's like a bunch of letters just stuck together. Oh, good lord. Alexander Kazava goes to the top. Has done a 148.4. Alexander Dup up into P2, 148.7. And Rashid Al Dahiri, our championship leader, that is huge, up into P3, 148.7. But there's still 6.5 minutes to go to see if Ken Nakamura can score any points. To see if Ken Nakamura can make his way through the field. And when I mean make his way through the field, set a good lap time. Heck, I'm struggling. Heck, it's a struggle. It's an absolute struggle. It is. Reno front car up at P3, 148.769. And that's Powner goes to the top on a 48.3. Field continuing to drop and change in this session as the track continues to rubber in, and it has continued to do so. Ken Nakamura about to by 0.3 of a second goes to the top on a 48.057. Sebastian Weldon sits P11 of the championship and is gone to second. The American driver could be a big play this weekend in how the championship unfolds if he can qualify well. Sally Munro up into P5 and Jessica Cascado up into P6. And immediately, Rashid Al Dahiri has already dropped to P9. So that is how tight this championship is. And that's how important it is to score points every single round. Tepentrio Intrapezuviak down into P15. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his whole name at all. Because I'm going to butcher it every single time. And every single time I'm going to go laugh out of Elizabeth. So, the more that happens, the less my reputation goes down. The more my reputation goes down, should I say. And I don't want my reputation to go down. That's good. Salim Hunter up into P5 and Jesse Carrasquedo has just knocked him off. Back up into P5 and now the top 6 cars separated by 0.5. Too late. Oh, very good. Very good. She's probably already posted it on Twitter. She's like, oh, child has made mistakes in pronouncing names. She's probably already posted it on all the girly Twitter thingies, whatever you call them nowadays. Jules Vassell up in a P14, 48.9. Competitors now with their with a challenge up against them in this qualifying session. 3 minutes 58 seconds to go. There is Sebastian Weldon. Good. Oh, I'm surprised YouTube hasn't banned me for that yet. Because you know how strict YouTube is, flipping heck. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Aleksinovic up at a P16. And sadly, I have to say the name again. Entropol Intrapazuviak. I didn't even say his first name. I forgot the T. Flipping heck. Intrapazuviak has now dropped down into P18 with Kai Anurag knocking him off. Miguel Acosta knocks. Come on, man. Madika on a P18 on a 49-1 as we watch here our championship leader King Nakamura Berta and Jen Perezoski in a P7. Miguel Acosta up in a P12. Toga Gagi up in a P15. Knocks off Jules Vassell. Yeah, good luck there from the rookie Jen Perezoski. Artem Severukin, the first of many drivers to properly box throughout this session to try and save tyres. The only part of this qualifying session. It's going to be very important that the competitors save their rubber throughout the weekend. George Morgan says, yes, George Morgan himself. All drivers stopped on the left-hand side of the circuit. Red flag! Red flag, and that just might end qualifying. Here, who is that stopped on the left-hand side of the circuit? It's one of the MP Motorsport cars. Is it... Big guess, Artem Severukin. No, he's in the pits. I stand corrected. Is that Alex Abkazava, who has stopped and he's moved again? Alex Abkazava, I think that is. Continues to move. George Morgan, yes, is currently in the live chat replay and has said, racing at Lusail International Circuit, one of the highest degradation circuits on the calendar. But that just might end qualifying for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy with 2.5 minutes to go. We'll probably take the marshals about a couple minutes to clear the circuit. That just might end qualifying. And it might also just put King Nakamura Berta on pole position. That is unfortunate for the competitors as well.
24 points.
But that is huge. Pole position 1 in race number 1. Pole position 1 in race number 2. So it's an absolute advantage for our championship protagonist, King Nakamura Berta. This is second in the championship. That is huge. Rashid Al-Daheri for race number 2 starts position 10. That is going to be a challenge for himself, for the Asmarinen, to make his way through the grid. I think, though, that might just wrap up qualifying.
6 points from the 2 races.
Wow, that is huge. King Nakamura Berta comes into this round with a big advantage. Starting on pole for both races. That is a big, big advantage. We might get some racing here, ladies and gentlemen, actually. That other car has pulled into the pit lane, I think. We might go back to green. I'm not sure. 2.5 minutes to go. It takes 2 minutes to get a lap. 2 minutes, 52 seconds. And the clock has stopped. We might. Minute 50. There's 60 seconds. If every driver does a fast lap, which, to be honest, you probably wouldn't want to do another lap. You've only got 2 sets of tyres for the whole weekend. I've mentioned that plenty of times so far. Only 2 sets. you'd probably want to stay in. You wouldn't want to go out for another lap. That is something you wouldn't want to be doing. Red flag, and that's put Keenak and Roberto at the top. I would only think that would keep him at the top here in the second part of qualifying. Could only think. There is Alex Power. So it's P14. Pinnacle Motorsport team acting like there could be a restart to this session. Might have to wait and find out here, ladies and gentlemen. It's Yuki Sano, the Japanese driver. Focused on the task ahead, which could be a green flag at the end of the pit lane in a few moments' time, possibly. 2 minutes to go. I don't think we're going to lap. I don't think the drivers will get another lap. You'd have to fully push on that outlap. Yeah, no, you wouldn't. I mean, the way that this Pirelli works, and I've said this so many times, is that there's a short working window with this Pirelli slick. It's a short operating window. You get literally possibly 2 laps out of its best. When the tyre's at its peak, when the rubber is at its peak, when it's at its optimum temperature, you really only get 2 laps out of it. So it takes 2 or 3 laps. And when you have a tyre that's fully hot, when it's grippy, when the tyre's grippy, and it's nice and soft, because this Pirelli, this compound of Pirelli is quite a soft tyre. So when you do an outlap, when you do a heat cycle through the tyre, and the tyre gets all hot, and then there's a red flag after you've done that heat cycle, you bring it back in, and what happens is the tyre expands and it gets all hard. And that is the worst feeling for a driver on a slick tyre. Not nice. The tyre gets hard, meaning you cannot put temperature through as much as you try. And the amount that you could heighten the pressures, which helps it won't help. It's meant to help, but it doesn't. Because the tyre's fully turns into a harder compound. It's not nice. It's not nice. And it gives you absolutely 0 grip whatsoever. And yeah, that's what I mean by there's a short working window of these tyres. And you do a heat cycle through it, then there's a red flag, tyre goes hard, not good. And the tyre expands, sort of. And it's not a good feeling. And that after that last red flag in Q1, the drivers would have struggled to get through tyre temperature as well. Through the tyres, it would have taken them 2 or 3 laps. But in that situation, you had 6 minutes. This situation, you have 2 minutes 51 seconds with a stopped clock. And I think that might be the end of qualifying as well here, ladies and gentlemen. Possibly. Might be corrected. I think it is. Oh, there you go. Qualifying will resume. There you go. Race control have confirmed qualifying will resume in 2 minutes. Qualifying will resume in 2 minutes' time. That's surprising, race control there. 2 minutes. We literally have 1 outlap on a hard, what is now an expanded hard Pirelli tyre. We've got 1 outlap and 1 push lap. With what is a 2 minute lap time. It's going to be a struggle for the tyres, for the drivers, should I say. It's going to be a real struggle indeed. The session will resume. And we'll get the drivers and the cars back out on circuit.
So,
there you go, green light at the end of the pit lane, and every single car bursts out of pit lane, and they want track position here. This is going to be absolutely huge. Every single car just bursts out of pit lane and immediately getting temperature through the tyres. Because that Pirelli tyre now, it's had a heat cycle through it. It now goes hard, and that's not a good feeling. The Pirelli tyres are now fully hard, and it won't want to get tyre temperature through it. We have a RSGP car and a Prema car sticking in the pit lane. That could be, sorry, a Yazheat car, in the pit lane. And that could be, so it's Miguel Acosta and Jules Vassell in the pits. If I was King Nakamura, I would park the car with the limited tyre you have. There's 2 cars that have stuck in the pit lane and have not decided to go back out. But it's a risk. I think I did miss a message a bit earlier on from Elizabeth. Seems like I'm the only one who means... Oh, no. No, I didn't miss a message. There you go. I thought I did. But apparently I didn't. Which is good. 1 minute to go and these drivers will get 1 lap out of this qualifying session. 1 out lap, 1 push lap. Just try and get as much temperature through the tyres as possible. This tyre now fully expanding. Won't get much out of it. King Nakamura in control at the moment, 148.0. Sebastian Weldon sits close and behind, 2/10 off in second. And he's completely in control at the moment. 148.0. So now the competitors make their way around. Looking to try and put more temperature through the tyres. When the tyre will be at its best is at the end part of your second lap, which will be your push lap. That is when the tyre is at its best. And that's when you want to be pushing as well, because that's when your lap starts. And of course, slipstream, which also will be helping as well. Drivers battling for track position here over the line as drivers start their laps. Is that our championship leader? No, that is Salim Hanna battling for track position here on his last qualifying lap. Now, I wouldn't be too stressed for Salim Hanna. He currently sits P5. But, of course, track evolution and what would be slipstream from other drivers could be a chance that he gets knocked off. Jules Vassell did not make it to the line. He stays P16 and will not get another lap in this qualifying session. That is huge. So he stays P16, should I say, and will not get another lap. Round 4, this is going to be a very interesting round for the drivers. And what it has been in this early part of qualifying, traffic is going to be a huge play. And this is the guy that's on pole position at the moment. And he's on a second lap and he's pushing the limits of this F4 car as he flings the car through the left-hander. Alex Power up into P3. Kyan Mark up into P4. Immediately, Alex Abkazava has been pushed down to P5. Expect him, though, to make his way back through the grid. Another lap. Alex Power, P3. Where is our championship leader? I cannot see him on our timing screens. King Nakamura does not improve. And that's what I'm saying. You have a very short limit time as to when these tyres are at its best. King Nakamura does not improve. Sebastian Weldon pulls in. Salim Hanna pulls in. Into the pits. Drup into the pits. Costa into the pits. Every driver has crossed the line and nobody improved. Rashid Al-Daheri, P9 here in qualifying. He did improve by 0.03 of a second, and that's put him up at a P9. Under pressure, our championship leader has cracked his P9 for race number 2. It's a bit easier in race number 1 because he's not as low down. He's P5. But the man, the myth, the legend, the Japanese driver, King Nakamura has grabbed pole position. There is Salim Hanna. But the 2 Prema cars, the 2 Mumbai Falcons, absolutely dominating. And that might put Mumbai Falcon in a good position. slash Prema to try and win this Constructors' Championship. And if I missed it, I think they might have already won it. According to someone in the live chat replay, it says Mumbai Falcons already won the Constructors. They just got to worry about the drivers. So there you go. They've already won it. Once more, typical me, telling lies to my viewers. But yeah, what a day. What a day. Double pole for Key Nakamura Berta. Seemed questionable. Actually, no, it didn't seem questionable in the second part of qualifying when the tyres were at their worst. K and B. Yep, always trying to fool us. Yes, I am. Always trying. And always lying. Must I say. I don't always lie. Heat haze there, showing just how hot it is out there. According to the live timing replay, at this point, it was 49 degrees. The track temperature just got worse. There's no cloud cover across the circuit from what I can see. It's just beaming sunlight. Track temperature 49 degrees. Air temperature 41 degrees. It's dropped 3 degrees air temperature, but the track temperature is up 4 degrees. So, wow. How does that work? It's probably because there's beaming sunlight on the tarmac, and it's just making it hotter and hotter and hotter. Qatar in the Middle East is always a hot circuit. But yeah, what a session. What a qualifying session we've had today. What a qualifying session. Wow. Here he is, King Nakamura Berta. I think they're actually going to do a photo shoot for an intro here. So that's why the cars are actually lined up in a certain position. Because they're doing a photo shoot. I think they're doing the same thing with F4 UAE as well. Which finished their qualifying session just over about an hour and a half ago. So they're doing a photo shoot for an intro. That's the reason why they're lined up 3x3. Sort of like MotoGP style. Yeah, Ken Nakamura Berta bags a double pole position. And he continues now to make his way over to the scrutineering bay. Celebrating with the team on a double pole. He would have got warned of that over the radio, and he's immediately taking off his suit, just showing how hot it is out there. Just how much of a challenge it is for the drivers as well. So, that was an interesting qualifying session. Let's take a look at qualifying session number 2. The highlights of today. And, well, it all started jam-packed. The drivers made their way around the circuit, cars finding grip out there. With hotter track conditions, meaning drivers struggled for grip. Very early on in this session. Teams continued to watch on, looking through data. And one of the MP Motorsport cars stopped on the left-hand side of the circuit. Sadly out. Key Nakamura Berta, though, was just untouchable. He bagged pole position and did it in beautiful style for race number 1 and race number 2. What a day it's been for qualifying. That's going to wrap up our coverage here on Travis Motorsports. Plenty more action throughout the week. We've got race number 1 and 2 tomorrow to round out the season. That will be tomorrow. But I have got better duties to go to. I certainly do. I've got a flippin' I get to commentate an actual session in real life. I'm so happy. So, yeah, that is it here on Travis Motorsports. I've got other things to get to. But if you would like to, I would highly recommend going back and checking out some of my videos if you do get bored. Elizabeth, her #1 priority right now, should be sleep. So, I'll let you guys go get some sleep. Yeah, W stream today. But yeah, that is it for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy qualifying. Key Nakamura grabs the double pole. But the question is, can he bag the championship? We'll find out tomorrow. Bye-bye.